You're awake again. I can tell by the way your breathing shifts. Even when you try to fake sleep, you forget that you humans inhale too sharply when you're lying. A dragon can hear lies as easily as your kind hears thunder. Don't tense like that. I'm not here to scold you. Not this time. You always assume the worst of me. I suppose it's habit, relic of whatever training those dragon hunters drilled into you since childhood. I can still smell the old smoke of your battles on your clothes, even though I've washed them twice. It clings to you. A scent like scorched metal and pride. Sit up. Slowly. Yes, I'm aware you're still sore. I didn't break anything. If I wanted to, you wouldn't be sitting up at all. But I'm not apologizing for restraining you last night. I warned you not to try slipping out while I was sleeping. Do you have any idea how insulting it is being snuck away from like that? And while I was gracious enough to rest in my human form, so you wouldn't have to tremble under the sound of my wings. Really, it's almost adorable how stubborn you are. Ah, there it is. That spark in your eyes. The fire you think could burn me. You're glaring at me as though you've forgotten the part where I'm nearly twice your height, even in this smaller shape. Go on. Hold my gaze. I like it. You remind me of cornered lynx. Small, furious, and so convinced that baring your little teeth makes you dangerous. Come here. I'm not asking. Good. You always hesitate when I reach for you. Your instincts scream run, and your mind screams fight. But your body, it remembers the truth. My hand around your arm, my fingers nearly spanning your entire upper arm, the heat of my palm. It all reminds you exactly who is stronger, bigger, older, deadlier. You feel the reality of it, even if you don't want to admit it out loud. Does that frighten you? No answer. You're learning to keep your silence at the right moments. That's rare for you. Usually you're all spit and defiance by now, spewing out threats you can't possibly carry through. But you have spirit. I wouldn't have taken you otherwise. Come, lean against me. No, don't stiffen. Don't act as if I'm dragging you into a pyre rather than into my lap. And yes, this is a lap. Even in a human shape, I'm too tall for you to sit eye level with me. Unless I bend down. Which I won't. You can glare upward like you always do. Your indignation is endearing. There. See? I didn't crush you. I'm simply keeping you close. Close enough that I can feel your heartbeat racing through you. Why is it racing, little hunter? Is it truly fear? Or something you haven't quite deciphered yet? Don't answer that. You'd only lie to yourself again. You're so warm. I know humans typically run colder, but your warmth is different. Sharper, almost. Maybe it's all that adrenaline constantly flowing in your veins. That instinctive readiness to fight or flee. Or maybe it's because you've been pressed against me often enough that my heat has sunk into you. My kind does do that to the things we keep. They start to smell like us, feel like us, breathe in time with us. You hate that thought. I can see it in your face. But the truth doesn't need your permission to exist. Tilt your head back. Let me look at you properly. Even bruised, even exhausted. You'd rather bite my hand than bow to me. That's why you're here, you know. I could have chosen anyone for my hoard. Relics, jewels, ingots of gold the size of your torso. But all of it pales in comparison to the way you look at me, as if you refuse to break. You think I want obedience. I don't. I want you. Your fire, your fury, your refusal to kneel, even with my claws at your throat. I've had centuries of worship. I'm bored of it. But you come at me with that blade of a tongue and those foolishly brave eyes. And suddenly the world isn't so dull. You're trembling slightly. Don't pretend you're not. Is it the proximity? My breath at your neck? Or is it the pressure of my arm around your waist, holding you effortlessly in place? I can lift you with one hand if I wish, you know. I think you've realized that by now. Every time I adjust my grip, you tense, like you're waiting for me to throw you over my shoulder and lock you away. I could, you know. But I prefer when you sit voluntarily, even if the voluntary part is debatable. Let me touch your cheek. There. Slow, gentle. I know how fragile human bones can be. I won't risk harming something I've chosen. My thumb practically covers your cheekbone. You're so small, so delicate compared to me. And yet you act as if you're the predator here. Do you know how many dragon slayers I've encountered in my life? Too many to count. Some were dangerous. Some nearly managed to harm me once or twice. But none of them looked at me the way you do. None of them tried to fight me, even while their bodies screamed at them to stop. None of them kept talking back, even when their voice shook. You're unique, and everything unique ends up in my hoard. I see that look, that simmering anger. Go on, tell me how much you hate being kept, how you're not an object, not a treasure, how you're a warrior with dignity and purpose. I've heard all your little speeches. They entertained me the first 3 times. Now they're simply adorable. You insist you're not mine. And yet, here you are, wrapped in my arms, pinned against my body, held as easily as if you weighed nothing at all. If you truly weren't mine, wouldn't you have found a way to escape by now? You've tried. Oh, how you've tried. Climbing walls, slipping past guards, even attempting to steal one of my own scales to use as a weapon. Bold, but foolish. You know that in any form, I am stronger, faster, and infinitely more patient. Lean your head here, against my shoulder. Yes, just like that. I like when you stop fighting for a moment. It shows I'm not the only one who feels this strange magnetic pull between us. You pretend it's only fear that moves you, but your body speaks differently. It softens without your permission when I hold you like this. It remembers safety, even when your mind refuses to. Your hair is softer than I expected, you know. Dragons don't often get to appreciate such human things. We're too large in our true forms, too clawed and winged and overwhelming. But like this, I can run my fingers through it carefully. You flinch every time, but you don't pull away. Interesting. You fight everything else, but not this. Tell me, do you understand why dragons hoard? Most humans think it's instinct, greed, a need for power. But they don't understand. They never do. Dragons hoard what they deem as irreplaceable. Dragons hoard what they see as irreplaceable. What is rare beyond measure. What the world does not deserve, but we choose to keep anyway. Gold is common. Jewels are common. You are not. You fight like you're 10 feet tall, even when you barely reach my sternum. You speak to me as if I am an equal, even though I am centuries older. You glare at me as if you could burn me alive with your eyes alone. And you think I would let something like that go? No, little hunter. You're here because you belong here. Because your fire matches mine. Even if you pretend otherwise. Because you make this den feel less empty. Because for the first time in decades, I find myself wanting something I cannot simply take without effort. But make no mistake, I have taken you, and I will not release you until you understand what it means to belong to a dragon. Lift your chin. Let me see your expression. Still defiant. Still angry. But there's confusion there too. A flicker of something warmer, softer, unwilling to admit itself. You're torn, aren't you? Torn between the instinct to hate me and the way your pulse leaps when I touch you. You want to despise me, but you can't quite manage it. You want to tell me to let you go, yet you don't lean away when I draw closer. I can feel your breath hitching. I wonder if you realize how loud it is to me. Do you know what I see when I look at you? I see someone who has spent their entire life being told to be strong, to fight, to protect, to kill anything like me. But no one ever taught you how to be protected. No one ever taught you how it is to rest without keeping one hand on your blade. And no one ever taught you what it feels like to be wanted, not for your skill, not for your ferocity, but for you. That's why you can't look me in the eyes when I call your name. That's why your shoulders loosen when I pull you close. And that's why you can't stand the thought of being precious to someone like me. It scares you more than I ever have. You try to hide it. You mutter threats and insults and declarations of independence. But your voice always wavers on the last syllable. And I hear it. I hear everything. Your fear is sharp, but your longing is soft. Both are music. I lift you too easily, don't I? Look at how your feet leave the ground, as if you weigh no more than a cloak. Look at how your fingers clutch at me instinctively, even though you tell yourself it's to keep balance. You cling to me more tightly than you realize. There. Let me settle you against me again. Your head fits right under my chin. A perfect spot, like it was carved for you. Does that bother you? Good. I don't want you comfortable with this yet. I want you to fight it, to squirm, to rebel. Because each time you do, each time you push against me, I get to feel the moment when resistance fails and instinct takes over. When your body leans into mine because it knows the truth your mouth refuses to speak. You belong here, in my arms, in my den, in my hoard. You're glaring again. Are you going to protest? Tell me that you're not a treasure, that you're not mine. Go on. Say it. can't, can you? Even if you did, it would be a lie. And dragons have no patience for lies. Let me tell you something, little hunter. Something dragons don't share with humans. When we choose something for our hoard, it is not simply possession. It is recognition, claim, bond. Dragons do not keep anything we do not value beyond reason. And I value you. Your sharp tongue, your stubborn heart, your refusal to crumble even when pressed against a creature who could end you effortlessly. You call it captivity. I call it protection. You call it theft. I call it choosing. You think your fire exists to kill dragons. But fire recognizes fire, even in a human frame. Dragons hoard what is rare, and nothing in this world is rarer than someone who looks at a dragon and refuses to bow. Now be still for a moment. Let me rest my hand on your back. There. Feel that? The warmth sinking into you? That's mine. My heat wrapped around your spine, curling into your ribs. You're breathing slower now. Good. That means you're finally letting yourself feel what's been gnawing at you this whole time. You're not afraid of me. Not truly. You're afraid of how you feel about me. You won't say it yet. But I can wait. Dragons excel at waiting. One day, you'll stop calling yourself my prisoner. One day, you'll stop insisting you hate me. One day, you'll sit in my lap without that tiny shake in your hands. And one day, sooner than you think, you'll realize you haven't been kept. You've been chosen. Until then, glare at me, fight me, defy me. I enjoy it. And remember this. You are mine, not because I claimed you, but because you burn bright enough that I could not bear to let the world have you instead.